Okay. Hey everybody, it's Domino, and I have something kind of new today. This is not necessarily a Minecraft Let's Play. As you can see, the frame rate, it's not really the best thing ever. It's not, completely smooth, however. So, as you can see, we've made, we love Team Fortress 2, and we thought, how about you do Team Fortress 2 in Minecraft? And we thought, okay, so we actually have, my friend here, where'd he go? There he is. He built a map, like, he actually built 2 for it, along with some of the other guys, like these people. And we all, what's it called? All of us have been building all these Team Fortress related things, and we thought, well, how would you play Control Point or Attack and Defense? How would you, oh wow, they're actually pressing it. How would you control something like that, and how would you do it in Minecraft? So what we devised was this, and the frame rate's terrible. I really apologize about that. If only it was better. Okay, so we wound up building this. So yeah. Basically what this does is, I'm actually gonna have to explain the whole thing. So what happens is, let's say you press the pressure plate. It goes through this module, which is separated by the green line. This is the anti-cheat module. When you press the button, it triggers this AND gate here, and there's also 1 bit of RAM. That's these 2 lines. And what happens is, when the RAM is over here, you press it and it lights up this, and it also deactivates this one. So as long as you're holding it down, it holds this, but when you let go, this part stays on because it's a loop, and then this one turns on again. So the AND gate becomes true, sets the RAM to the other direction, and pushes this piston. Now this piston actually blocks the signal, so you can't hit it twice without, well yeah, you can't hit it twice. So after you've hit it and let go, you have to reset the RAM, which is done automatically through the rest of the system. That comes in from that part of it. So that is our anti-cheat mechanism. On the first press, or the only press really, it sends out a signal, and as long as you're holding it down, it actually captures the point, which is on a timer. So it goes through, and if the timer elapses and you continue to stay on it after the timer has been completed, both of these pistons will open up through a bunch of checks, seeing that you're on it, and it's been held down pretty much to prevent cheating in any possible way. We thought of every case logically, and if that works, it lights up, and it actually sounds. I think it sounds like when you actually capture points in Team Fortress 2. I'm not quite sure, but I think it does. And I'll talk about this little part later, but it sends out to this flip-flop, and then the flip-flop runs to this little bus here. I'm trying to fly. Oh, I can't fly, why? There we go, okay. So then it sends it out to this little bus here, over to this, and the flip-flop, just every time you do it, it changes its state. And it tells you what team has the point using 2 pistons. That's inverted, so it swaps back and forth at the same time, moving the glass. As you can see, that they just did that. So basically, now it's on. This is, you've been standing on it, and it works. So here, it also has a cooldown that is equal to the timer because of that anti-cheat mechanism, and it waits for everything to be off before resetting the RAM, like it just did. It beeps when it's ready again. So here, I'm gonna, if I can stop flying, oh gosh, I'm gonna hit the moon before I deactivate flying. Why can't I do it? Oh gosh, this is bad. I can't stop flying. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's beeped saying that it's ready. So let's say we want to capture the point. it makes the noise. Timer's now going. So you just wait for it to make the click. There's the click, and it went. Now it waits for you to let go, then there's a cooldown. Now you wait for the beep. Oh, it reset. Oh my gosh. He's standing on it, so the timer went off and it automatically started again. And it just captured. Okay, so that's how that works. But we thought, what's the point of just making a map with one? He said whooper. So what was the point of just making one of these control points when we can make two of them? So yes, we actually built this whole thing twice, piece for piece, and there's actually two control points. And the same thing happens with this, except that one part that I said I was going to explain later, I'll just explain that now because it's relevant now that you see that there's 2 points. Oh, and by the way, we made the second one prettier. It's made out of lapis and lime wool. Color-coded. Things on pistons are the lime wool, except for on this side. And lapis is just blocks. Okay, so this is the point 3. This is point 2 that we're at now. This is the reset for point 3. Because we realized that it's possible to do captures out of order. Although that wouldn't happen under Oh, it's raining. That wouldn't happen under normal gameplay. However, in theory, it is possible. So what we did was we made it so that way when you capture the one point, since these are sequential, when you capture the first point, it automatically sends reset RAM to the second point. So if that gets stuck, you just capture the first point and it cleans everything up. And also, the second point, it's been built exactly to the same specification as the first point. And I'll show you. This is actually a good idea, a good time to actually explain some of the different cases that we've covered with the anti-cheat, of which I think there are 3. This one does the same thing, but it just sounds a little bit different. This was also an end cap, so I made it play a little bit of music afterwards. And it reset. As you can see, this, not quite sure what's going on. It seems like I must have pressed it again. However, I'm trying to take a look at that. Oh, there's the RAM. See, they just captured that first point, and it reset the RAM because I captured out of order. So now that piece that I'm pointing my reticle at, that is indicating that it's in the proper location. Now, we included some administrator tools in this, mostly just an indicator light or two, and this. We have your indicator light where if this is on, it indicates that it needs to be reset if this is staying lit, because that means that the RAM is stuck in the already pressed position and it makes it capturing that point impossible. So in order to fix that, all you have to do is just press this button and it sets the RAM over to the ready position. So admins can get in here, say, oh, it's not working, just press the button and it fixes it. This one has the button too, and the indicator light. This one's being captured, so that reset light is on, but as soon as everything resets, there we go, it turns off. So yeah, the whole thing is mechanically sound. It's possible to duplicate it. I have to say, it's not the easiest thing to do, mostly because I estimate there to be probably in between 70 and 100 redstone, along with a lot of repeaters, torches, and pistons. Plus, there's topography to it, like there's some blocks that are above ground, such as pistons, extra things, note blocks, and also a couple of tunnels going beneath. So really, the whole thing exists on 2 layers, however, most of it's on the topmost layer. There's only a little bit on the bottom layer. And this can be used, we've designed this so that way you can actually chain, if I'm correct, you could chain as many as you want together. I'm not sure if all of the infrastructure for that is in place yet, but you can chain multiple together and they will work, and then you could just bury all this and build your Team Fortress style map on top of it, or really any map, and then you could actually play Control Point with attack defense. Now I'm pretty sure that this is not configured for attack defense going both ways. This is only like one team attacks, the other defends, and then you can reverse that by just changing the teams. in order to do double attack defense, you might have to actually put these next to each other, like duplicate this and put it over here. But yeah, we've been making this for, I think it's been 3 days now. There's actually some prototypes of different things that are across, but over on this island we actually have some of the concepts before we even switched to redstone. This was the first redstone based capture point. It doesn't have the anti-cheat, doesn't have any of the indicators. This is pretty much just the bare bones logic core. And we actually made a couple of ones that weren't even redstone based before that. Like I tried one with carts and tracks. We did one with water flow, which was close to working actually. I think that, yeah, that's where this was. The one with the water flow was close to working, but we couldn't figure out a way to get the item that drops into this water trough after it goes through to hit the pressure plate that it's supposed to go on and then come off of it. We couldn't really determine a way to do that reliably and in a repeatable fashion. So we eventually just switched over to redstone, and this is the second generation of it. This is still without the anti-cheat, except it's been improved a little bit. It has part of the anti-cheat installed, and this also has an indicator. It actually tells you in that box there what team has it, but that one didn't have the flip-flop either. So we went over to this island and we actually built the thing twice. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like everything, you know, just let me know. And it really depends. I may or may not do Minecraft in the future, but that would be nice if I could. Just, you know, tell me what you think, and I'll see where I can go with that. I also have a couple of things lined up. I've been thinking about either starting Ace of Spades or possibly Terraria, but nothing's set in stone yet, so I'll keep the channel updated, and I'm also going to be recording more of my Motherload Let's Play. I'm guessing it's going to be about 4 or 5 more episodes until it's done. I'm not quite sure, though. So, in that case, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will catch you next time.